Welcome to the Mainstream Voice Training video. My name is Josh and I'm going to show you how to use your phone. Right now, the phone has no power. I just want to show you some of the basics on how you can use it. It has a couple of different inclines with the display standing there on the back. You can move this if you don't like the angle it's at. The bottom here slides out and then you can move it up to the next slot, slide it back in, and then you'll have your different angle. The other thing you can adjust is the handset. Where it clips on has a movable clip here. This way, if you have the phone on, you can't just pull off the phone real easy, but it also doesn't, if you're pushing buttons, it doesn't accidentally fall off. Some people like this clip up, some people like it down. It's really just your preference. You can remove the clip, flip it around, and put it back. And so you may want to experiment to see which way you like best. Basic features. Okay, you can see now the phone has power. It's displaying the time, the date, and it also tells us what our extension is at the very bottom there. So this phone is extension 102. The display has several different options we'll go through here in just a bit, but I want to show you the very basics on just how to make and receive a phone call. To make a phone call, you use your dial pad here and you start typing in your number. Now, if you make a mistake, there's a delete button, and you can actually delete the last digit or few digits you dialed and then redial it. When you're ready to make the phone call, you pick up the handset or you push the send key. We're on a phone call now, and it will do information on your caller ID information, and then how long you've been on the phone call for. As you can see, the green speaker button is green. It's because we're on a speaker call right now. If we picked up the handset, you can see the speakerphone turns off. That's because we're using our handset to make the call. If you want to go back to speakerphone, just push the speakerphone again, and we're back on a speaker call. You can adjust your call volume right here while you're on a phone call. If you're having problems hearing with the phone, let us know. We do offer some accessibility devices that make the calls a little louder. When you hang up, you just hang it up on the handset or you push end call. So since we're on a speakerphone right now, I'm going to have to push end call. And now we've terminated the call. Now, before I show you how to receive a call, the volume adjustment when you're not on a phone call will adjust the ringtone volume. Now, I'm going to make a phone call. This phone call, as you see, the call's coming in. Now, we can answer the call by picking it up. We can hit silence because we don't want to talk to them, but we're just going to let it go to voicemail, or we can reject and definitely let it go to voicemail immediately. So we're going to pick up this call, and I'm just going to pick up the handset to answer it. Now we've answered the call. You can also see we have the caller ID information and how long we've been on the phone call, just the same when we were placing the call. Again, to hang up, you can either push the end call button or we can just hang up the call. I'm going to show you a few other features we have available when we're making a phone call. We're on the call right now, and there's a mute button at the top right. When you push that mute button, the button will turn red. It'll also say mute on your screen, and the customer can no longer hear us. To unmute, you simply push the unmute button again. There is a headset button if you have a compatible headset to use, and when you push the headset button, it'll flip to your headset. You have a voicemail key, depending on whether or not you have voicemail on your extension. This is just a refresh button for your refresh your screen. And then we've already gone over your speaker button here. Now, while we're on a call, the display is slightly different. We have some new options at the bottom. We have transfer, hold, conference, and end call. We already know what end call does. The hold button is just what you think it might do. When you push the hold button, it places the caller on hold. And then there's a resume button, and we push the resume button, and we pick the call back up. While the customer's on hold, we'll hear hold music. Now let's say we want to transfer this call. We can transfer this call with the transfer button, and we dial the extension we want to transfer this to. So we're going to dial 102, and then if you hit transfer again, it'll just send the call right off. Now, I just transferred this call to myself accidentally, so that's okay. I'm going to answer the call. Now, with that type of transfer, so just with transfer, number, transfer, is what we call blind transfer. So you're just going to send the call and you don't really care what happens to it. The other thing you can do is called a supervised transfer. And so with a supervised transfer, you push the transfer button, we dial the extension, and then instead of hitting transfer again, we push send. Now we're on the phone call with the person we're trying to transfer the call to, and we can just make sure that they're available before we transfer the call. To transfer, you just push transfer, and then we'll finalize that transfer. Let's say we're trying to transfer this call to our coworker, and we ask them if they're available, and they want to ask why the caller is calling. There's actually a swap button, so we can swap back to our original call and ask them that question. And then when we swap back, we're talking to our coworker again. You can hit transfer at this point, or you can even push conference, and we can just join the calls together. For this example, though, I'm just going to end the call, and I'm going to show you a transfer call here. So for a transfer call, you initiate your first call. Now to conference this call, similar to transfer, you push the conference button. You dial the extension that you want to initiate this call with. So I'm going to do 101, so we're going to try to transfer this, conference this call with. You push the send key, or just wait for a second, and that automatically does it. Now, similar to when we were trying to do the supervised transfer, we can swap back and forth, but to join the calls, you push the conference button, and now we've joined the calls. You can see we have 2 members on this phone call. Now, if we want to split the call, we can split the call, so it means we remove them from this conference bridge and go back to having them one on every line. So hit split, and then now you can swap back and forth between your original callers. In the call, you just hit end call or you hang up. Last few features I want to show you is just some of the screen options. So we're going to dial another, we're going to make another phone call here. Now, with this caller, let's say we want to put the call on hold and have someone else pick up. Now, the hold button will only let you pick that call back up. And so your best bet is to use these park buttons on the left. There's 3 different park buttons you'll have. If you push park 1, that park 1 button will go red. The customer will hear hold music, and any phone in your company can now push that exact same park 1 button on their phone and pick up this call. This is useful for paging. In this phone, I have a page button at the top right. If I push the page button, I can page all my extensions, and I could say there's a caller parked on 1 for accounting department, and then someone in the accounting department on their phone will see this red park 1, and they push that park 1 button, and they can pick up that call. Now there also is some individual extensions, and in this example we have Chris, and it's a green button. So the green means that Chris is not on a phone call right now, and that we can call Chris. So if you push Chris's button here, we initiate the phone call. We are now on a call with Chris, and our button is red. When the button is red, it means that extension is on a call. There's also a 1-2 button down here at the bottom right. That just means we have more buttons on the next page. 1 is highlighted because we're on page 1. If you push the 1-2 button, it'll flip over to page 2, and we have some additional extensions that we can push. Now there's also a menu button. The menu button, you can navigate the menu button with these buttons right here, and you can change some different options in your phone, like the ringtone, your volume, your screen timeout, etc. Don't worry, any of the things that might break the phone are locked behind a password that we have, and so feel free to explore your phone and figure out the different settings you can do with it. That's it for this video training. If you have any questions, you can email us at voice@msfiber.net or give us a call, 812-720-9423. Thank you very much.